Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Sarah, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into coaching and why you love it so much.
All right, I graduated from E.D. White in the early 2000s. I went to play at Nichols. I was there till about 2005, and I really wasn't going to coaching. I was going into insurance, and then someone called me from Central Catholic, and I said, sure, why not? So I went over there and I started coaching, and I came to love it. And then 2 years later, I got a call from E.D. White that they had an opening for assistant, and from there I just went to E.D. White, and it's been there ever since.
Yeah.
So.
You know, E.D. White is a great tradition in volleyball. Of course, as you know, nowadays PowerPoints are so important in our sports. Volleyball, you have an opportunity to play in a lot of tournaments to get those points. What are some of the tournaments you're going to and who you'll be playing, you think?
The first one we're going to is Assumption, pretty much local teams around the area, a few Baton Rouge teams. Then towards the end of September, we're going to go to the St. Joseph's tournament, and that's going to be a lot of good private schools around the area, but also a bunch of different Baton Rouge schools that we don't normally play. Mm-hmm. And then in October, we're going to Country Day, and then ending it off at ESA, which is the Spooktacular, a fun one that ends our season.
Tell me about some of the talent you have coming back, or maybe somebody that's blossoming this year.
I have 7 seniors coming and 3 juniors. Anna Claire Jones is probably my number one as of now. That's my setter. She's a senior and just a great leader on and off the court, but also just a very good setter, one of the best in the state. I have Callie Becknell, one of my middles, a strong hitter, and then Brighton Radcliffe, my other middle, who's really a strong hitter.
That sounds familiar. Jones and Becknell's at E.D. White. Huh?
Yep, exactly.
What's your district? I mean, you know, you all usually fare pretty good now.
Yes.
Who do you see be some of your competition?
We always have it. This year's district is going to be really tough. We were last year too. Berwick, Morgan City, Lutcher, who we always go head to head with, and then this year we got Vanderbilt again. So that should be a fun little rival game.
It won't be hard to get them psyched up when you're playing teams like that. Right?
Absolutely. Vanderbilt, they play their best game every year against Vanderbilt.
Yeah. You know, everybody's goal is to get to the puncher training center
Yes.
in volleyball. You know, where do you see up the road? Like, you know, who's some of the teams you'll go after district that you'll face probably to get there?
We have a few new teams in our division this year, like Dunham and Lafayette Christian, who we're probably going to have to face. Hannon, again, who we just lost to in the state championship game last year. They lost a few girls, but they still have some of their strong players. So those are some of the teams that we're definitely going to have to face. We definitely have to get through district first. We have to be one of the top 2 in our district to even make it. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Sydney, good to have you.
Good to be here. Excited to be here.
So I guess tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us about last year's team and what you're looking forward to this year.
This year? Okay, cool. Well, I'm Sydney Dufresne. I'm just the assistant at Central Lafourche High School. The head coach couldn't be here today, but speaking on her behalf, this is my 4th year going to be over there at Central. And last year, I'm going to speak actually 2 years ago, I should say. 2 years ago, we had a big group of seniors come in, and y'all know how that always goes. The big group of seniors come in. I think we had like 9. Like, it was a lot to be able to funnel them kind of out, and then have 2 seniors last year, and it's just been rebuilding from there. So this year, last year was the rebuilding year, I guess you can say, and then this year we rebuilt and hopefully coming out strong this year.
Coach, I know in volleyball and all sports now, the PowerPoints are so important. Volleyball, you really have a lot of opportunities to play in tournaments along the way.
Correct.
And you can get a lot of points in those a lot of big tournaments. What are some of the places y'all going this year?
Past few years, COVID, everything, couldn't really do tournaments, so I think that kind of hurt us a lot. So from this year, we're going to Grace King in a few months, I guess you can say. We got the Morgan City tournament. We got Assumption Jamboree and tournament. So a little bit more locally, but definitely some good competition out there.
Yeah, your district's pretty good in volleyball.
Oh, definitely.
So let's talk about that. You know, where do you think you fit in that district?
I'm hoping last year, obviously, we came out last, but there's obviously room for improvement. This year, we've every single day in the summer, 6 a.m.s, working out every single morning, getting the girls right, practicing right after that, basically 6 to 10. It's been a tremendous summer, and just working them. Hopefully going to be more in the middle of the pack than this year in district, and hopefully can get our first round of playoffs out the way, and definitely trying to see for the Pontchartrain Center.
Who are some of your key players and maybe some underdogs that are moving up?
Right. So our key players returning, we have Lily Dominique. She was actually a right side, outside, low DS for us last year. She ended up getting like the most digs for us. We gave her our defensive MVP award. So this year as a senior, we're moving her to libero. So that's gonna be pretty good for us. Natasia Cooper, she's gonna be our middle blocker. She's a junior. She's blossomed tremendously over the summer. New bees, I guess you can say. We have Cortland Smith, who's an outside for us. She's a sophomore. We have Serenity Winstell, who's going to be a freshman, actually. So she's pretty young, going to be able to develop our program on the outside. Excited about her. And we actually have a junior, Alana Fitch, who was a manager for us last year. Did tremendous work over the summer, worked her butt off all summer long, and she'll do us some good in middle, right side area. So
Hurricane Ida messed a lot of schools up in your area, our area. Have you been able to practice normally, or you had to move around?
Oh, yes, sir. No, we were pretty good with Hurricane Ida. Our gym was pretty good. We did have to go to Lockport Rec Center for a while, but I mean, it went maybe for a month, not even. So we did pretty well from the hurricane.
So at the end of the year, where's Central Lafourche going to be? I'm trying to build a program,
Yep.
trying to psych them up. How are you doing that?
Well, for the past few years, haven't made first round of playoffs. So I'm hoping this year to start setting the tone in a sense. We go to the playoffs, we start going to the Pontchartrain Center. I mean, whenever I played, all we did was always go to the Pontchartrain Center. So like last couple of years as assistant coach, not going to the Pontchartrain, it just doesn't sit right with me. So we're working, we're grinding, trying to build the program up, and definitely trying to make it to the Pontchartrain Center.
What do you tell them how it is to be at the Pontchartrain
Oh yeah,
Center?
100%. I was like, when it gets cold outside, that's whenever you need to be starting to get to the Pontchartrain Center. When you start needing your sweatpants, it's time.